What's up, guys? Matocaster here, and today we are back in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And I wanted to mention something. Some of you know that in real life, in my home shop, I restore and modify cars, classic cars, just kind of mess around with pretty much anything. And I do have a channel for that. It's at River City, and I'll post a link down in the description. I'll post a link up in the right hand corner, or you can just search for River City over there. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Couple of build series projects right now. I'm merging a vehicle from 1962 with a vehicle from 2008, so they are becoming one. Really cool project. It's going to look like 1962 on the outside and drive like a 2008 on the inside. So guys, if you are interested in seeing real life car modification, restoration, paint, whatever, go to that channel, check it out, subscribe. I'd love to have you. I do a lot more uploading over there than I do over here because, really I spend more time doing that than I do gaming. But I still love to come in here and game for you guys and play Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 when I'm not messing with cars in real life. All right, now with that out of the way, let's find ourselves a vehicle to get going on for today. I think I want to try, I think I have one barn maybe right now. Let me check. Yes, one barn. Hey, let's go. Let's go check it out. And here we are. And we have here the, what do they call it? The Chieftain Bandit. That's right. I should know a bandit. Come on now. Smokey and the Bandit. That's a cool car. Oh, what do we have back here? Oh, here we go. I've been wanting to find this car for quite a while, and I am stoked that it has been found. I've wanted to do a 57 Chevy Gasser. Yep, that's indeed what we have here for quite a while. I knew it was here, and all my playing, I have yet to find it. So actually, I'm really stoked right now. I am not even going to worry about trying to figure out if we want it, how bad it is. We're buying it. I've wanted it that long. We are just buying it, and it's going straight to the garage. Well, that was easy, guys. That was quick and easy. I'm going to scavenge through this stuff and then head right back over to the garage. You know, looking over here at the C1 Corvette, man, this would be fun too. We've definitely got the cash for it, and this would probably bring some good money. The value is $13,742. They want $14,339. I'm sure we could build something pretty cool out of it. You know what? You don't stumble across these every day. That's coming home too. We went to a barn, one barn left, and we bought two cars. We're going to throw that over in the garage parking for now. We've got it in the inventory to get to some other time. I'm going to go through and scavenge the rest of this stuff, see if there's anything good in here, and then head back to the garage. So far, I'm not seeing. There is a Nomad hood, but it's in rough shape. And here we are. Man, this thing is way up in the air, as any good gasser should be. It's sitting a little high in the rear for my taste, but hey, what are you? I'm not going to complain too much. But yeah, that is a nice proper gasser, because it does definitely have quite the power plant here. We've got factory power, 537 horsepower, 744 pound-feet of torque. And it is a supercharged V8. This, guys, is going to be where we're going to build a ridiculous engine. This is the one we're going to go all out and do all performance parts. This is going to be a fun build. First things first, let's send it on over to car lifter A. Actually, I want to check out the interior, see what that's looking like, since we can open the door. Yeah, just a standard, period style looking gasser. Move you over to lifter A. Man, that looks good. Those are some meats back there. So proper. So first I want to go about, let's just get the engine out of here first. Usually like to start there, get the transmission separated, drive shaft and stuff, see what we're working with. Drain the oil if need be, and get this engine out and start its teardown. We're going to build quite the engine here. Move this over to lifter A. See if we got any oil needed to be draining here. And we do not. Okay, you can go back. Looks like we don't even have an oil pan because I'm staring at some rods and pistons there. All right, pull this drive shaft off. I hope you guys are doing well. It's finally starting to feel like spring outside, at least around here. Got rid of that ridiculous Arctic chill. That was insane. Let's get the starter off of here. So yeah, it's about time. Been waiting on that. Can enjoy going outside again. How about that? And here I am in here playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. But it's addictive. Oh. Almost forgot that guy. Get the clutch plate off and our flywheel. We are ready to rip this thing out of here. Look at this rear end setup. This is impressive. And it's got this just solid axle front end with the leaf springs. All proper. That's fantastic. Bring you back down and get ready to pull this thing out. Okay, that's like the engine cover, and down here is what we're working with. Okay, let's get the cooling out of here. The radiator, I should say. Brake master cylinder. For some reason, it's got ABS brakes. I'm wondering if it's like a line lock setup they got going on here with the ABS system, and probably that's what it is. You wouldn't typically have that on a period vehicle. Let's throw that battery on the charger. Get that charging. If it'll charge. That's pretty low. We'll see. I'm sure it is. I've always had good luck with being able to charge the batteries. Put you a car lifter A. Let's get this engine out of here. I am so excited for this car, guys. This is fantastic. I've been wanting to get a proper gasser on here for quite some time, and I knew they were in here. They just don't come by that often. Put this right back where it was and mount our engine. There you are. Look at that. That thing is a beast. Wow. Proper vintage style supercharger. This is fantastic. Let's just start at the top and work our way down. Get the carburetors off of here. This carburetor off of here. Let's get our belt for our supercharger off. Oh, we can't do that just yet. Gotta get our fan and other belt off first. There you go. There we are. Okay. Back to the supercharger. Star of the show here. The cherry on top. And get the supercharger intake manifold off. I'm excited to see what kind of horsepower numbers we can get out of this, because we're going to go full performance on everything we can on this engine. Get this valve cover off. Take off the rocker arms, and I'll go ahead and pull out the push rods as well. Onto the wires. Get those out of the way. Spark plugs no longer needed. And then we can pull the head and see what we're working with. I'm sure it's very dirty in there. A lot of carbon buildup. I'm sure this engine has been abused, and indeed it is. All right, that side is torn down. Onto the other. That is done. Let's go on to our distributor. Get this all taken care of and out of the way. Supercharger water pump pulley. And then we can remove our water pump. Easy as that. Our steering pump. Which, not sure why you'd need power steering on a gasser, but this one has it. I think it's really just because that's the way these motors come in this game. Majority of the time, like every time, they have power steering. Pull off the timing cover here. And we get to our, timing chain. Nope. Cam gear. Then we can pull our camshaft. And we are ready to rotate this thing over. Get these pistons out of here and crank. Rotate, rotate. Back to business. That one doesn't even have a rod cap on it. Pull these pistons out. There you go. And we're missing, there's quite a few parts in here missing. Looks like somebody was starting a rebuild because we don't have an oil pan. We're missing a rod cap and bearing, crankshaft bearing. So it looks like this engine was getting ready for an overhaul and just somebody gave up on it. Well, we're here to rescue, aren't we? And yeah, there's another one missing right there. Interesting. That piston out of the way, and we can pull our crankshaft. And then our block. Time to see what we can repair. We're going to have to get a lot of replacement parts that are just simply missing, like the headers, manifolds, things of that nature, which is fine because we're just going to buy the majority of it at the performance shop. And take a look at what we were able to repair and what we were not. Obviously, the clutch and throw bearing and stuff, flywheel, no big deal. Carburetors, we're not worried about it anyways. We're going to buy performance. We were able to repair the supercharger. Yeah. All right, time to start. We need an engine head over there, which is fine. Again, we're going to be upgrading that. So yeah, this engine was in pretty rough shape. At least we were able to save the block, which is fantastic. All right, time to go shopping, and I'll see you guys at the engine stand with all of our new parts. It is time to build our engine, and here we go. All nice new parts. Now we can start installing our pistons. There's no need for me to go through and point out what is performance because I bought everything possible that is performance for this vehicle. The pistons and everything will be performance for this engine. So usually I point out what parts I bought that are performance. This time I threw it all at it. We have all new performance, everything. And here is our new oil pan. There we go. Okay, we can flip this thing over and get down to business here. Get our heads on. This engine head at least. Okay, let's go make sure we get our performance one there. For some reason it defaults into our old non-performance one. Gotta watch out for that, I suppose. And let's get our push rods and rockers. And I'll do a couple rockers here. And then I'll just speed up the rest of them. There we go. All right. Get our engine head cover on here. That side, well, we got to do our exhaust manifold. I call them headers, but the game calls them manifold. And get our spark plugs installed here. And that is that side built out onto the other. Onto the supercharger intake manifold. Before we get too crazy building that up, I'm going to build out the front of the engine. Get down here. There we go. Get our camshaft in. Our pulley. Then we can put on our timing chain. Our new timing chain cover. There we go. Water pump. Supercharger water pump pulley. Special. Crankshaft pulley. Or harmonic balancer, whatever you prefer. Power steering pump. Alternator. Wonder why it doesn't default just to the performance parts. I mean, you paid the extra money. Why wouldn't it default to that? Get our fuel filter on here. Did on that one. I think it's because it was in better shape. Get our distributor. Come on now. And our cap. Never forget the clips. This one's going to be a little bit. There we go. Not too bad. Now we can put our supercharger on. Pulley, or our belt for our pulley there. Get our carburetors cinched down. And surprising to me, they didn't have performance filters for this engine. The scoop air filter, you just have to use the standard one. Surprised me. Okay, we can get to our other belt here. Alternator belt. They call it a serpentine belt. I would call that an alternator belt. But whatever works. I'm not trying to be critical. They may sound like it. Get our headers on that they call manifolds. Okay, I'll drop it. And then spark plugs. We're getting close to this engine being built. Man, this thing looks good. There we go. And our ignition wires. We need a scoop. Need an air scoop. There we go. And you go on there. You are one good looking engine. Man. That is quite nice. We'll put the flywheel and clutch assembly stuff. We'll do that under the car. Once the engine is back in. Man, that looks good. I can't stop looking at that. I wish they had like engine dynos in here and you could know already what power, but it would be fun to see what we end up making out of this thing. Okay, let's get our engine stand back over to the car. Take our engine off of here. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Grab our engine. Put it on the crane. Yeah. Into the car. Man, that looks good. That looks very good. Okay, time to move to suspension stuff. Actually, I'm going to throw the flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, throw out bearing stuff on now, so I don't forget. Got our flywheel, clutch plate, which I would call a clutch, and the pressure plate. And then the release bearing. Yeah, I guess clutch plate is the proper way to say it. I'm guessing we're going to need a tunable transmission with this car. For sure. Time to get to our brake suspension and all of that goodness. We got drum brakes up front. Man, this thing must be a handful to stop. This much horsepower, this kind of speed with drum brakes has to be wild. That is a really simple teardown for a very simple front end. We don't even need to speed up the other side like we usually do. We just get a couple of things out of the way. Brake drum. Get our brake shoes. There's the solid axle. That's cool how this mod did this. I am appreciative. Yes, this is a mod, guys, by the way. I will say. Okay, the front end. That was the quickest front end teardown we have ever done. Onto the rear. Let's get these big old boys out of here. Those have to weigh a ton. And we have disc brakes in the rear. Interesting. I guess you wouldn't want too much front brake. Okay, so now I get it. That's why they have the ABS servo and. So yeah, they must just be using that front setup for a line lock type thing. I don't know. I don't know my quarter mile and eighth mile cars all that well and how they do things. Maybe that is how it's done. I mean, I know you got a parachute. This car has a parachute, so just rely on the parachute and the rear brakes and just use the front brakes as a line lock maybe. Somebody out there knows more than I do on these quarter mile and these straight line cars. If you don't mind, educate us. And I'll give you a pin. How about that? It's always good to learn something. Get this off of here. Because yeah, I'd like to know why that is. If there is a reason to it. Get the brake pad off of here. Brake disc. The axle out. I've always liked the straight line cars. I just don't know. It's like that's a whole world that I've always been fascinated by. There's always a reason they do something, right? Get the leaf spring bolts out of here. The plate. We can remove our rubber bushing. Get our control arm out of here and our axle housing out of the way. Let's see what can be repaired. Looks like quite a bit. I still think it's funny that you can repair the brake shoes on here. Let's check our inventory and see. Let's get down to the suspension stuff. Suspension brakes. Here we are. Yeah, we were able to. We definitely need brake drums. Need a wheel hub. Brake shoes are good. And we were able to repair quite a few things. Brake caliper cylinder. Obviously brake pads. We will need new brake discs. Your shock absorber. Any of that suspension stuff usually is not repairable. Obviously rubber bushing. All right, let's put our axle in. Axle housing C. Wheel hub. Solid drive axle. And we'll put on our brake disc. Brake pads. Obviously caliper and new cylinder there. Get over here to our spring cap. Rear spring. Rear shock cap, or yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, wait. Need our control arms. Obviously, that would be important. Get our rubber bushing in there. Our plate. Oh, getting ahead of myself here. Leaf spring plate. And our U-bolts. 1 and 2. Very nice. On to the other side. Okay, done. On to the front. We have our axle. Let's see, get that hub on, and then we will have our, there we go, solid drive axle. Put that on there. Got our wheel cylinder. And our brake shoes. Brake drum. And that is it. That is such a simple build on the front there. Let's go to the other side. Nice. Let's get our wheels and tires pulled apart. Separate parts. There we go. I actually do kind of like this wheel and tire combo. It's very fitting of the era. They definitely use these Kragars, SS Kragar style, a lot on the drag strip. But I think I want to change the front ones. I definitely like the rear ones as they are. But go with kind of a because I believe there's a very Gasser looking front style wheel in the wheel store. We will find out when we get there. Now they don't have exactly what I was looking for, but these are really close. I'll show a picture here of the ones that I was hoping to find something like this, because this is very of the Gasser era. But these, yeah, these will work. It's kind of close. We'll do 15s. This is what came off. We'll just go ahead, go with a pair of those. We're gonna do skinnier tires than they had on the front. They had 205s on the slicks. We will do, yes, the white lettered slicks. Actually, for the front, let's do the race tires. These right here. We'll go for a pair, 15s, width 135. And of course, we're going to need some slicks for the rear with all this power that we're putting down. Get a pair of those, 15s. Keep it of the era. The width, we're going to need some meaty ones. Let's go 325. Will it go that high? No, yeah. How high will it go? Out of curiosity, golly, this 520 is that would be absolutely massive. Someday we'll have to mess with that. So we'll go 325. There it was. 325. Don't want to go overboard. Again, keeping this of the era. 60 on that. $5,000 in tires. Oh man, you get into racing stuff. Racing stuff is so expensive. Now we can put our tires together. Install. This will be for the rear. So we're going to want our big old slicks right here. There they are. There they are. Big old tires there. I wonder what the 500 and something looks like. That has to be insane. There'd be no way that'd fit. Gotta fit something, I suppose. Let's do our other rear. There we go. I suppose I could be balancing while we're doing this. That would only make sense. Let's see what our fronts look like. Oh yeah, not bad at all. That will work. I think I'll actually kind of like the look of these pretty well on here. Let's get these things mounted. Get the rear. There we go. Oh yeah. Then our fronts. There we have it. I feel like the sidewall's too small. I don't like it. We're gonna get new tires out front. It's just too small of a sidewall. Doesn't quite fit the look and the era for me. Much better. Much better. Okay. Wheels and tires are taken care of. Let's go ahead and hook up the drive line here. Again, I think we're going to need to get a better gearbox. But the nice tunable gearbox, which I think is going to make things a lot easier for us when we try to really put down the power and everything. Be able to choose our own gear ratios, which would be nice. Very important on a good drag car, right? Cool if you could change your rear end ratios and all that too. Get this drive shaft installed. And I'm guessing we don't have any exhaust to worry about. That would be correct of the era. Let me double check. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any exhaust. That is accurate, and that works. Awesome. You wouldn't want exhaust on this thing. You want it to sound as mean as it looks. let's go get the welder here and take care of the body. At least the... Yes, there we go. Okay, you can go back. So all that has been structurally sound. Now let's get these parts off of here. Start repairing these. Looks like the whole body pretty much is going to come off. There it goes. All right. The trunk. Oh, we got nitrous back here. The rear bumper goes, nitrous goes with it, huh? And the door. Windshield, front window. Okay, I believe that's it. Yeah, that's going to have to be an interior thing. Let's repair what we can. This would be one fast go-kart right here, I'll tell you that much. Go into assemble mode. Put our door on. Our body came out 100%, which is fantastic. Our trunk. Oh, we got to get that nitrous system in here, right? Got our cage in there. Body is on. There we go. Oh, it's all one big thing, the rear bumper. I get it now. Sometimes you find that stuff with the mods. They're really cool, but they can be really quirky like that sometimes. Left taillight, 100%. The fuel door there. Looks like this is all good back here. Get our right body window. Right front door, which is 100%. That's great. And get our window in here. Right front fender, 100%. That's great. That came out well. Right side mirror is on. Do we have a hood? We have no hood. We'll get to choose hood. There's some custom hoods in here. I'll show you that much when we get there. And there that goes. We can do the left body window. Front windshield, front window in, doing the drag style. That looks nice. Okay, now we can put our engine cover on. The Gasser cover, which just looks so good. So perfect. Front end in here. Very nice. Get our headlights installed. Let's check out the hoods we have to choose from here. Got quite a few. Got some stock looking ones. Then some drag looking ones. It looks like our zoomies here don't stick out past. It might a little bit. I think that hood would look good. The one that has the cutout. Yeah, I think that's the one. Again, fits that Gasser look. Put you on and shut it. Oh yeah. It'd be cool if they stuck out a little bit more. I think that's what this is wanting. Okay, yeah, that looks a little goofy. If this was flat, it would look good. We're going to get rid of that. That was expensive, too. It was like $3,000. So when I saw that, I only get about half back. But that's what I get for not paying too much attention. You can't tell from here how much that actually sticks up. Let's try that one. See how that looks. Oh, that's cool. That's also of the era, too. That is really cool. Okay, I dig that. Do we want to do a front bumper? I don't think we can do a front bumper with the fuel tank up here. Yeah. Man, that's looking good. I'm excited to paint it. See what we come up with. Let's see, I think we're there. Let's go ahead and drop it all the way down. Let's check out the interior. And there it goes. It actually lifted up when it dropped. This thing is serious. Okay. Let's move it right there. That's what I was looking for. That thing looks so good. Man. Okay. Oh, Dynamat and everything. This is a good mod. This is a very cool mod. So we want to do the interior. Let's see what we're working with here. Let's go ahead and just take the seats out. Changing up the seats a little bit to something of more the era. And also change the steering wheel a little bit too. Let's go to interior disassemble and then into interior assemble and go with these low backs. They were doing everything for weight in these gassers. There we go. Yeah. You'd have to be a tall guy. But it works. It works. That's the, more of the style back then. Okay. Yeah, if you're curious why gassers look the way they look, it was the theory that when the car would take off, they were really popular in the early mid 60s and even into the late 60s and 70s. The idea was the weight would transfer with the whole front end sticking up like that down here to where you needed it. So it would more of a, stick and launch type thing. And then you see a lot of gassers where like, even in interiors, some of the interior panels, they'll just take these big hole saws and just drill holes all through like the support stuff and whatnot, just to shave as much weight as they possibly could back then. Very impressive engineering and how these guys were just trying to get as much speed as they possibly could back in the golden era of straight line racing, in my opinion. I love that era. Don't know a whole lot about it, but I sure love to learn about it. Okay, let's get this thing painted. So there's no liveries to choose from. That's too bad. It'd be cool to have, like Gasser logos and stuff down the side. But that's okay. But I do want to do something about the color. I'm just not feeling it. We have to do something kind of outrageous to fit that Gasser look. Maybe a gold, yellow, possibly a green. I'm digging on this kind of a take on aqua. A little more bluish, slightly aqua. And it works. Paint the car. All right, the moment of truth. Send it to the dyno. And after replacing that, I realized I didn't put the radiator back in. We don't want to do our dyno run with no radiator. Okay, let's get our battery. We need that. Battery, radiator. Obviously, we're going to want brakes. Be handy. The ABS pump and the ABS module. There we go. Now let's try to dyno this thing. That looks so cool sitting in there like that. And that is a proper gasser, if you ask me. All right, let's see what she'll do. Proceed with the dyno test. Again, we are working with original 537 horsepower, 744 foot-pound of torque. I shouldn't say original, what the motor was spec'd at when we got it. And we are making 965 horsepower, 1,322 pound-feet of torque. This thing is going to be quick. And I think we're going to have to adjust our transmission quite a bit to make this thing work the way we want it to. All right, let's move the car into garage entrance A. I'm going to walk out there to look at it. Man, that thing. I'm digging it. It's way up in the air, too. I'm digging it. All right, let's go give a shakedown test at the speed track. I think we're going to end up topping that transmission out pretty quickly. And here we are. Our beautiful 57 Chevrolet Gasser. And we're going to launch. There it goes. We're already into third. Thing sounds so good. We're topping out fourth. There it is. 167. We still have a ways to go. Let's tune that trans. It's not too far off. We just need another gear, I feel like. Let's add fifth and leave it as such. Wait, no. We need to adjust that. That is way off. Let's set it right in about there. Now let's see how we do. Here we go. Third gear. I do like the spacing that it's got. Now we're going to get into fifth. It's doing quite well. 200 miles an hour. 203. 205, 6, and we topped out right there. Just out of curiosity, can we get the thing to 210? I don't want to make that gear too much for too tall. Let's do a launch from the inside. There we go. Going into 5th. Thing straight as an arrow. That's 200. 204, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 209 miles per hour. Hey, that's close enough for me. That works. I almost forgot our Bel Air badges. There they are. Nice. That works out. Let's check our car status. 100% across the board. It is just a peach of a car. I love this thing. Very cool. But we can't keep them all. We've got to sell. Because we do want to start getting into buying some of the very expensive cars, the Bugatti and stuff like that, the Ferrari, that kind of stuff. Jaguars. Some of the really rare stuff, the Porsche Speedster. We've got to get into that over $1 million mark on some of that stuff. We're definitely getting close. And with that, let's see how much this one will sell for. Car status, all hundreds. Don't need license plates on this thing. It would not be street legal. So we have got a car value of $41,076 and a restoration bonus of $8,215. So let's sell the car for a total of $49,291. I would have guessed it would have gone for a little bit more. Let's see. Let's run the numbers and see what we get. Now remember, we did buy that Corvette, so I'm going to have to take that out of the equation. We made a profit of $10,139, so not bad at all. Not a bad little profit on a very fun car. It was a very fun car to build. I enjoyed that, for sure. It didn't help that I threw every expensive part I could at it, and I wonder if that equates into the final value. I'm not sure, but you don't build a gasser and don't throw the performance at it, right? Guys, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate it. And hey, don't forget that other channel, River City. If you want to see me build and modify cars in real life, head on over there. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you subscribed. A lot more uploads over there than over here, but I will be working on that. I would like to get more gaming videos over here. Guys, I appreciate it so much. Please consider giving it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I truly hope you did. And I say it every time because I mean it every time, guys. I appreciate it so much. Your support is always appreciated. It's very humbling to me to have all you guys here in such a cool area in the comments and everything. It's not all filled with hate and everything. But yes, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it as always, and I'll see you in the next one.